Good morning. It is 6:28 a.m. on Thursday, October 19th, 2017. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Uh, I'm a little bit droopy this morning. Uh, as I woke up, as the alarm went off this morning, I'd been having a dream where I don't recall exactly the circumstances that led to this, but I and a group of people that I was somewhat irritated with were getting arrested, and we were all having to kind of just sit around waiting for various paperwork to be filled out so that they could process the arrest. And I was annoyed because um, they were handing out like they had some form that we were supposed to sign, and there was room on each one for like 3 people to sign it. And so they kept handing it out to all the different groups, and then somehow just none of them ended up getting to me. And I was trying to be patient, but it seems like it just kept happening where like I wasn't getting to fill out the form, but I knew I had to do it, or else who knows what would happen. And so I was annoyed because people weren't letting me fill out the form I needed to fill out. So yeah. Um, we had a great session of so many levels last night. I got to surprise my regular players with a surprise guest player, um, and it was great. It was great. So you can check out that latest episode. We had some really fun stuff happen in it. It was a perfect example of the sort of thing that can play out in that game where I had envisioned like this group of sort of bandits and no goods. That's a noun now. No goods. Luna agrees. She barks at no goods all the time. And I had imagined that the party might eventually fight these no goods. But what ended up happening is that they just talked for a little bit, and then most of the party left, and a couple of members stayed behind just to make sure they weren't followed. But then when it was turned out that they were going to be followed, those people decided to take on the ones that were there. So what we ended up having is that instead of one whole party taking on the other whole party, we had one part of the party taking on individual parts of the rest of the party, separately in a way that was tactically, it was a very beneficial thing for them. They didn't have to take on all the bad guys at once. But, yeah, and they ended up taking the leader hostage and interrogating him, and it worked out great, actually. I think it was a perfect example in that game of why you don't overplan. You come up with sort of, I think it's good to kind of envision first what would happen in this world that you've created if the characters that the players are controlling never showed up. Like, how would things play out if the characters don't get involved? And then once you know that, you can come up with, and it makes sense to predict, to try to guess a couple of different scenarios of how it might play out. But what I'm increasingly learning as I get more experience with being a game master or a dungeon master is don't create narratives, create situations. And so the situation I created here is that there's this group of shady bandit types that have a plan, and then I just need to have them try to react in real time to what the players are doing, and it all works great. So it was a very fun session, and I'm very excited to continue that thread. Luna's walking around on stuff that she normally wouldn't walk on. What are you doing there, little dog? She's feeling pretty good today. She's a good little dog. I will show you, except it's just I have to move the camera around. It's kind of a hassle. I'll take a picture later. So, in any event, I'm doing pretty good today. I'm gonna be recording talking about Survivor later tonight. Like I said, check out the latest episode here of So Many Levels. It's a good one, I think, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes. Don't forget to donate to pledge to my Extra Life campaign. I'm coming up with new pledge rewards all the time, so get on that. There will be a link in the notes. All right, bye.